Do you need a small table? Okay. 皆さん、チャンティングのファイル見てください。ページ3、ページ3。And the first one, the second one, and the last one. Last one, second page, the last one. 一番、これ、第1、第2、次のページの最後のプルノモだ。OK ですか。スリーグルビョーナマーハリオームサハナワバトサハノブナクトサハヴィリアムカラワワハイテジャスナワディタマストマビディビシャワハイオーシャンティシャンティシャンティハリオームシャメノミトラシャンバルナシャメノバワトワリヤマシャメナインドロブリハスパティシャメノビシュノロロクラマハナモブランマネナマステワヨトワメバプラティアクシャンブランハシत्वामेव प्रात्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारम् अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय आविराविर्म एधि रुद्रायत्ते दक्षिणं मुखं तेन मां पाहि नित्यं 神様、非実在から実在へ導いてください。無知の暗闇から知識の光へ導いてください。死から不死へ導いてください。我々の中にお入りください。あなたの優しい顔で我々を守ってください。オームシャンティシャンティシャンティハリオーム。今沈黙したまま目を閉じて皆さんの幸せのために祈りましょう。 Om Shanti 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 Hari Om。これから輪読を一つ瞑想について素晴らしい本ありますから、シラミヨティシャラーナンディの瞑想とれて、それからちょっと輪読します。どうぞ。
瞑想と霊性の生活1、スワミ・ヤティシュワラーナンダ。修行の実践と祈りは強化されていかねばならない。朝夕の定期的な祈りと瞑想、常に高い思想に心を置くことは非常に役立つだろう。初心者の心はいつも神聖な考えに占められていて、それが習慣になるほどでなければならない。正しい習慣が身につけば、道はより平坦になり、愚道生活の緊張も和らいでくる。私たちは自分の心を丸ごと神に捧げなければならないのであって、部分的な帰依であってはならない。シュリ・ラーマ・クリシュナはよくおっしゃっていた。1ルピー分の値段の布を買おうとするなら、1ルピーを支払わなければならない。1パイサ足りなくてもダメだ。そうしないとそれを買うことはできないだろうと。霊性の生活においても同様に、全く注意を払わなければ何も得られないだろう。おざなりの瞑想の修行を数ヶ月間、あるいは数年間続けて、霊的に何も得られなかったとしても、誰を責めることもできない。私たちに必要なのは忍耐力だ。たゆみなく規則正しい修行がなされなければならない。心身を清らかに保ち続ける努力を諦めるくらいなら死んだ方がましだろう。私たちが死んだとしても、それがどうしたというのだ。大切なのは真理を悟ることであり、完全な成長を遂げ、自分の本性に到達することだ。最善を尽くして奮闘努力するならば、自分の義務を果たしたことになるだろう。そうなれば、残りはすべて神に委ねられるべきである。こうして主への真の自己の明け渡しと放棄がなされるのだ。御社の役割を果たす知性と手綱の役割を果たすよく制御された心とを持つ者は、神の思考の住処である旅の目的地に到達すると、カタ・ウパニシャット 139 には書かれている。決して自分に甘んじて自己満足し、すでに最善を尽くしたなどと考えてはならない。その時は最善を尽くしていたのかもしれないが、もっと多くのことができるように、よりさらなる強い力を神に祈るべきだ。今はまだ10ポンドしか持ち上げられなくとも、100ポンドを持ち上げられる力をお願いすることはできる。たとえすでに最善がなされたと思っても、この最善の程度は膠着してしまうわけではなく、能力はさらに高まりうるのだ。終わりです。
Good morning to all of you.
皆様おはようございます。
And welcome also to this monthly satsang.
定会へもようこそ。
Now, as you know, our topic is how can we make our meditation deeper. So let us first start with a short meditation.
今日のテーマはいかに瞑想より深くできるよということで、最初に瞑想を一緒に行いたいと思います。
それは、スイさん、このサイドもちょっと厚い、それがちょっと薄いですから、そのカーテン、そのように、ちょっと、ありますから結構な。じゃあ、 それで、それの前、瞑想の前、ちょっと説明した方がいい。瞑想は、例えば、霊的な対象を集中して考えるですね。Meditation is a deep thinking on a holy theme. So I already told in Japanese. Anyway, so now before you start your meditation, those who have already some chosen deity as the object of meditation, so they can just think, focus on that chosen deity. But those who have not, so I give you two alternatives, two options. Either of it you can choose as a theme of meditation.
そして決めた神様という信仰のある方はその神様を考えて集中することができるんですけれども、そうでない方に、2つの選択肢を提案いたします。
So one theme is just imagine full moon in a clear sky. So this may be one object of meditation.
一つ目は、晴れた、夜空の満月を考えてください。
So you imagine the image of a full moon in clear sky in your heart. This is one option, but you should think that there is a symbol of the consciousness. So this is one option.
で晴れた、夜空の中に現れてくる満月を自分の心の中に、想像して集中してください。でもこれは意識の象徴として考えるべきです。
Then another is the flame, steady flame of a candle or the flame of a oil lamp which does not flicker.
微動だにしない、全く動かないろうそくの炎、あるいは、油のランプを思い出してあるいはに集中してください。
But that also you should think that flame is the symbol of consciousness.
じゃあもうこちらも同じように、意識の象徴として捉えて考えなさい。
Okay, so about 6 minutes meditation. So first you sit straight with your spine straight and the palms, two palms, either you place it on your lap or on the two knees.
これから6分の瞑想を行います。まずは背筋を伸ばしてください。そして両手をももの上か膝の上に置いてください。
Then close your eyes.
そして目を閉じてください。
Okay, Marichan. Now you do some deep breathing 3 times, rhythmic deep breathing 3 times. That means deeply inhale and deeply exhale for about say 6 to 8 seconds.
これから3回深呼吸を行います。深く息を吸って吐いてください。吸うときに6秒から8秒、吐くときにも6秒から8秒で吐いてください。
Okay, let us start.
始
Breathe
まります。
in,
息を吸って、
breathe out,
息を吐いて、
breathe in,
息を吸って、
breathe out,
息を吐いて、
breathe in,
息を吸って、
breathe out.
息を吐いて、
Now let me chant Om 3 times, then you start your meditation.
オム3回唱えてから瞑想を始めます。
Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Now let us start the discourse. So meditation is, as I told you, is a deep thinking. But basically, one can have deep thinking on a secular subject or matter, or one can have a deep thinking on spirit. So, deep thinking may be either on a matter or on a spirit. So, deep thinking on spirit or a spiritual subject, we call that type of deep thinking meditation.
それでは本題に入ります。瞑想というのは深く考えることですけれども、世俗的な対象について深く考えることが可能です。ので、ここで言う瞑想はスピリチュアルな対象について深く考えることです。
And the result of such meditation is so different. If one can have a deep thinking on some matter, then some problem, it may be a scientific problem or some other secular problems, one can have a solution of it or one can invent something, but one cannot get peace by practicing that type of deep thinking. On the other hand, if one thinks deeply on spirit or spiritual subjects, one can have a sustained peace and real joy.
その深く世俗的なこととスピリチュアルな、対象について深く考える結果は全く違います。世俗的なことについて深く考えると、例えば、数学の、難解な問題を解決したり、あと新しいものを発明するなどできますが、そうしたとしても、心の平安が得られません。一方、スピリチュアルな対象について深く考えると、継続的な本当の幸せと心の平安を得られます。
Then about practice of meditation and its details, there are some books in which you can get it. For example, in Bhagavad Gita Dhyana Yoga, chapter 6, then Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, then Swami Vivekananda's introductory chapters of Raja Yoga, and Swami Yatishwarananda's meditation and spiritual life. There are many other books on meditation, but some of the books I just mentioned are really helpful and contain many practical details and suggestions regarding meditation.
瞑想を行うことにあたって手助けする本いくつかがございます。例えばバガワギタの、ギャナヨーガ第6章、あとパタンジャリヨガスートラとスワミ・ビベカナンダのラジャヨーガの、除雪スートラを翻訳する前の何種あるんですけれども、あと、スワミ・ヤティスワラナンダ寺の先ほど、朗読された本、瞑想と冷静の生活にはたくさんの有益なアドバイスが書いてあります。
Now some examples of good meditation. There is one example is that, as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, in a room in which there is no wind. So if there is an oil lamp, because there is no wind, the flame of the lamp will not flicker. Very steady flame. So during the meditation, the mind will be like that. So that is one ideal example of meditation.
ギータには良い瞑想の例として、ある部屋の中に油ランプが置いてあるんですけれども、風がないため炎が揺るぎません。そういった状態は良い瞑想の状態です。
Then there are other examples Sri Ramakrishna gave. If a person has a deep meditation, then if a snake, you see, scrolls, if the snake moves, huh?
No, it's not crawl because it doesn't have
Cross,
slithers, yes.
huh? Slither. Then the person, neither snake will understand, nor the person who is meditating will understand.
Passes
On the body.
close by or
No,
through?
just body.
Gets
Touching
on
the
the
body.
body.
Yes.
スリラマクリスナも深い瞑想状態に入ると、蛇は自分の近くに動いて体を触っても、蛇は生き物を触ったことに気づかない。で、瞑想している人も蛇に触られたことも気づきません。
Then the bird, you know, it always searches for some food. So a person who is meditating, so the bird will sit on his lap, sit on his head, and the bird will search some food in the hair of the person who is meditating. So in that case also, neither the bird knows that he is sitting on the living man, head of a living man, nor the person who is meditating becomes aware of the bird, that it is sitting on his head and searching for food.
同様に深い瞑想状態に入った人の頭の上に、鳥が来て自分の髪の毛を、くちばしで突っ込んで食べ物を探す。生き物ではなくて普通の木とか考えるからです。
Then once Swami Sharadanji was asked, Maharaj, when you sit for meditation, so our mind, we feel our mind is disturbed, it's restless, and it takes quite a long time to make our mind still. What's about you? Sharadanji said, no, never, it happens to me. The moment I sit for meditation, immediately the meditation becomes very deep.
Devotees ask Saradanji? ある信者はスワミ・サラダナンダジに尋ねました。マハラジ、私たちは瞑想しようとしても最初は心が不安定で、静かになるまでに時間が結構かかりますが、マハラジの経験はどうですか？いいえ、私はそういう経験は一切、ありません。私は瞑想に座ると、すぐに深い安定した平静の状態に、入ります。
Now let us discuss the purposes of meditation. So let me also ask some of you, why do you meditate?
これから瞑想の目的についてお話ししたいと思います。皆様にどうして瞑想を行いますかと聞きたい。
Well, Akshay? For mental peace.
心の平安のため。
Hirashi-san? ？Okay, just present in English.
to get peace of mind, to calm down my mind.
So here is our one visitor from Canada, Vancouver. So I believe you also do some meditation. So what is the purpose of your meditation?
To connect with 日本語
日本の大丈夫ですよ。
神とつながるため、神が自分の中に入ってくださるようにするためです。
To get connected with God. So that I feel God inside of me.
Okay, so we get some answer. And what's our Shanti Sama? もうちょっと大きな声で。
To realize my true self.
Okay. So you see, if we inquire, then we see several purposes of meditation. So there is a physical purpose also. Some person wants to prolong their youthfulness, to look their face beautiful. So some person also, especially actors and actresses, one of the purposes of the meditation is like that, very physical.
皆様に伺いまして多種多様な目的があるそうですが、ある種の人は、もっぱらに身体的な目的、のために瞑想を行っております。例えば、若さをいつまでも保つため、いつも若くて美貌シワが出ないように、俳優さんや女優さんが行っています。
Wrinkling.
Yes, I just said that.
Then doctors advise those patients who suffer from high blood pressure or some heart-related problem to do meditation.
で、医者たちは、高血圧や心臓の問題を患っている患者に、瞑想を勧めます。
Some psychosomatic diseases, especially those who suffer from psychosomatic diseases, they advise. Doctors also advise some meditation.
心身の、心と体がつながっている疾病を治すために勧められています。
I had a chance to see one hospital in Mitaka, a hospital where there is a room where one can go and sit for meditation in the hospital, meditation room.
ある三鷹にある病院には瞑想の部屋が置いてあります。マハラジはそちらに行かれました。
And I was very much impressed that in hospital also they feel the necessity of meditation for the patients to cure their diseases.
で、そういう病院の中にも、患者の、心と体、特に心を治すためにそういう瞑想の必要性があると感じて、設置したことに対してとても良い印象を受けました。
Anyway, but more I think universal common is purpose of meditation is to control one's mind, control one's anger, greed, ego, all these negative attitudes of mind, negative waves of mind, to control them. Many people do meditation.
もっと一般的な理由としては心をコントロールするためです。例えば怒り、欲望、エゴなどをコントロールするためです。
Then also, purpose of meditation is to clean the mind. Every day we accumulate some darts, some dirty vibrations enter into our mind, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. So everyday meditation cleans that dirt which we accumulate So it's sort of ofuro. So meditation, it becomes like an ofuro of mind, becomes like a sentaku of mind.
もう一つの目的は、心をきれい浄化させるためです。私たちの毎日の生活の中に、汚れが心の中に入ってくる、汚れがついてきます。で、その汚れの蓄積を浄化するために、心をお風呂に入らせる、あるいは洗濯機で回してきれいにします。
Then also another purpose of meditation is to enhance concentration, so that it can help learning, it can help to do work with concentration and faultlessly. Enhance the level of concentration.
もう一つの目的は集中力を上げるためです。例えば勉強をより安く、より、効率よくできるため、そして仕事も効率よく失敗しないで行えるためです。
Then also another reason, another purpose is to be free from tremendous stress and tension one undergoes. Tremendous stress and tension
One undergoes
every day, almost every day, in their everyday life, to get rid of that.
で、毎日の生活の中に、たくさんのストレスとか緊張感を経験しているため、それを和らげるためです。
Then another purpose is to get steady mental peace.
もう一つは安定した心の平安を得るためです。
As here our Akshay and then Hirashi-san told, then still some purpose of meditation is to gain some occult powers, so that one can earn money, earn name and fame. So that's also one purpose of meditation for some persons.
もう一つの目的は超能力を得てお金や名声を得るためです。
But there is a higher reason, one to know one's real nature, as Shanti told, who am I? So for that also one does meditation.
もう一つの高いレベルの理由としては、真が本当の自分をして、自己実現するためです。
Or in another words, want to know the truth, realize God, realize Brahman. So that is the highest purpose. And at the same time, to be free from the repeated cycle of birth and death and get liberation.
要するに、最高の真理を悟り、ブラフマン、神様も悟り、輪廻転生から下脱を得るためです。
Thus meditation can be called the panacea, panacea of all mental diseases.
瞑想というのはすべての病気の万能薬とも言われます。
And also some physical diseases also.
心だけでなく、身体疾病の万能薬でもあります。
It also helps to face any adverse situation wisely and boldly.
そして困難に知恵と、勇気を持って立ち向かえるために役立ちます。
It's also great aid to self-development.
自己成長にも助けます。
And this is the only way how one can get steady peace and joy.
瞑想によってのみ安定した幸せと喜びを得られます。
Now people who meditate generally for either of these reasons, either one or two or three of these reasons, purposes mentioned before.
人が瞑想を行うときに先ほど申し上げた、一つあるいはいくつかの理由によって、行います。
Though in Hindu, Jain and Buddhist tradition meditation is very common, but in Semitic religions there is not much emphasis on meditation, but there is prayer, but intense prayer leads to meditation. They use sometimes a word nowadays, especially contemplation. Now, deep prayer finally leads into contemplation and then meditation.
ヒンズー教、ジャイナ教、仏教には、瞑想という古い伝統がありますが、セム教の、宗教、例えば、イスラエル人にイスラム教と、キリスト教の中には、そういう伝統はそれほど強くはなかったんですが、祈りもしております。で、深く祈りをすれば瞑想の状態に入ります。キリスト教では黙想って言います。
Nowadays, meditation has become global. So people, of course, in the East, in the West hemispheres, many people are now doing meditation. What leads to these circumstances?
で、現在は瞑想が、グローバル化しております。いろんな国の人々は瞑想を実践しています。どうしてこういうことになったのでしょうか。
First of all, when Swami Vivekananda preached Vedanta and also talked about meditation, taught meditation, then people had a clear idea, those who heard him, clear idea of what is meditation, how one can meditate, and Swami Vivekananda himself demonstrated. And the picture you see here on the altar, this very famous picture, this picture was taken while Swamiji was meditating in England. So that is into deep samadhi during this meditation. So in that way the West had a chance to know what is genuine meditation and the demonstration of it when Swamiji had preached Vedanta and taught meditation in the West.
スワミ・ビベカナンダ西洋で、瞑想について教えたりあるいは指導したりしてた時に、その話を聞いたの皆さんは、本当の瞑想とは何かはっきり分かりました。スワミジご自身も、瞑想を、自分の身をもって、示しました。例えばこちらの写真ですが、イギリスの、講演を行った時の、瞑想の状態で撮影された写真です。
Then later on, groups like self-realization, Swami Yogananda Paramahansa, then transcendental meditation of Mahesh Yogi, these all help to popularize meditation in the West.
この他にも、パラマハンサ・ヨガナンダの、Self-Realization Fellowship や、マヘッシュヨギの超越瞑想、などといった運動によって、世界中の瞑想への関心が高まっております。
Then also Buddhism. It was also preached in the West and it does not talk of any particular God. So, but they give emphasis on meditation. So that also really popularized meditation in the West.
そして仏教も西洋に広まり、無神論、神を信じていないが瞑想を説いているので、人気を募っています。
But all they taught meditation for a higher purpose. But most of the meditation sessions nowadays which are held, the purpose is mostly to get rid of mental tension. So the purpose has become quite narrow, I should say, and superficial.
その当時、 瞑想を教え広めた、方々、宣教師たちは崇高な目的を持って教えてたんですけれども、現在は瞑想を行うの主な理由として、心のストレスを排除するためになっておりまして、非常に限られた目的でしか実践されなくなりました。
One example is the Vipassana meditation. So some schools of Vipassana meditation, they just teach that to get rid of mental tension. They organize camps, maybe of 10 days or 15 days, and then they try to do some meditation practice, and their approach to control of mind is through body. That means focusing the body on particular movement of the body, breathing or walking or taking food. In that way they try to pacify the very restless, turbulent mind to some extent. And it cannot be denied that there is some effect on that. But the problem is this effect of stilling the mind by attending this type of Vipassana sessions of meditation, the effect does not continue for a long time, because once they go back home, they don't continue the practice. So that's the main reason, that there is no permanent effect of this type of practice of meditation.
例えば今も人気なヴィパーシャナ瞑想が行われてきているんですけれども、10日から15日間、人里離れたところに入ってずっと瞑想を行いますが、不安定な心を、鎮火させるために、体に集中させます。例えば自分の呼吸、あるいは歩きの瞑想、自分の足の動き、あと、自分の食事の、味覚に集中させることで、心を落ち着かせておりますが、この瞑想の効果は確かにありますが、一時的で儚いものになっております。なぜかというと、ヴィパッサナに参加した方々の多くは家に戻ると瞑想を続かないからです。
Now, here we shall discuss the purpose of meditation of a spiritual aspirant.
これから、愚道者は、なぜ瞑想を行うかについてお話しします。
And we shall also discuss how this meditation, there are two types of meditation. Meditation on Atman or pure consciousness, and then meditation on a holy image. So here today we shall discuss mainly the meditation on a holy image.
愚道者、つまり霊性の修行者は行える瞑想の2種類があります。一つ目はアトマンです。アトマンという、純粋な意識と神聖なイメージを瞑想するということですが、本日は、神聖なイメージに集中する、ことについて、主に説明いたします。
Because for many people, meditation on the pure consciousness is really difficult. So that's why it is better to start with a meditation on a holy image. That's why we shall discuss it in today's session.
なぜなら、純粋な意識に集中するのは多くの人にとって、避難の技だからです。そのため神聖なイメージに集中することについて、から始まった方がいいかと思います。
Now each spiritual aspirant, before doing meditation or before doing this practice of meditation, one should have a very clear idea why I meditate. Many people have no clear idea of why they are meditating. So the purpose, about the purpose of meditation, one should have a very clear idea about it.
瞑想を行う前に、皆様は明確な理由を持たなければなりません。
The first, the initial purpose and the final purpose.
で、最初の目的と最終的な目的もはっきりしない
The
といけない。
initial purpose is to control one's mind and to get mental peace. That's the initial purpose. But for a spiritual aspirant, it cannot be the final goal. It cannot be the final purpose.
で、皆様の最初の目的は心をコントロールして心の平安を得る、ですが、修行者にとってはこれは最終目的であってはなりません。
So what's the final goal, final purpose? That is to realize one's real self, or you may put it in another word, realize God or realize Brahman. But basically it's the same, and to get liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because the cycle of birth and death is the cause of our sufferings, and at the same time, if we get liberation, you also experience steady joy, peace, and supreme knowledge. So that should be the final goal, final purpose of meditation of all spiritual aspirants. If that is not there, then we cannot call it that it's a spiritual aspirant's meditation.
ね、愚道者の皆様は、最終目的として真我もしくは神様ブラフマを悟ることで、輪廻転生から下脱を得ることです。私たちは輪廻転生しているから苦しんでいますので、その原因を、削除することによって安定した喜び、平安と、最高の知識を得られます。こういった目的を持って瞑想を行わない、のなら、愚道者の瞑想として、考えられません。
And the second point, one must do regularly meditation, do meditation regularly and sincerely. So remember these 2 points, regularly and sincerely. That means you cannot afford to postpone it even for one day. And number 2, it should not be superficial. It must be a deep, try to have a deep meditation. So this is the 2 most important things one should remember about practicing meditation. Regular practice and sincere practice, not irregular and superficial practice.
そして瞑想を行うときに、最も大事なポイントは2つがあります。規則的に、そして真心を持って、瞑想を行うべきです。例えば1日でも後延ばししない、1日おきに瞑想もしない、そして行うときに、真剣に行う、真面目に行うことです。深く、瞑想します。規則正しくない、あと真心を持っていない状態で瞑想を行わない方がいいです。
Then the third thing is to allot a fixed time and fixed duration, preferably in the morning, in one's schedule.
そして、毎日の中に、決めた時間に決めた長さで瞑想を行うべきです。特に朝の方が瞑想を行うべきです。
Come what may, one must not stop meditation for a single day, as I told you, at the appointed time. If, of course, something very, very urgent, unavoidable, then it may be for short duration, but one cannot just afford to postpone it even for a single day.
そして何が起きても何が、どういう何の状態あるいは困難に、入ったとしても、短くても毎日瞑想を行うべきです。絶対後延ばししてスキップしてはなりません。
The next is decide the object of meditation. There should not be any ambiguity about it. So you should decide by through observation or by consulting on spiritual teacher what is best object of meditation for you or for the spiritual aspirant. So it may be, as I said, God or goddess or a saint, realized soul, or some symbol representing consciousness. So one must have a very clear idea about the object of meditation for the practice of meditation.
そして瞑想の対象もはっきりにしなければなりません。自己分析または、霊的な師匠グルに相談した上で自分にとって最適な、瞑想の対象、例えばある神様あるいは女神あるいは聖者、悟った人、あるいは意識の、象徴などを決めてはっきりそれを瞑想すべきです。
So Hinduism gives a lot of freedom in choosing your object of meditation. That is one feature of Hinduism.
ヒンズー教の、大きな特徴としては、瞑想の対象を自由に選べることです。
Then the next point is actually how we practice, as you already know or you did, to sit erectly, to sit erect and don't move any part of the body, and to close one's eyes, and to palms placing either on the lap or on the two knees, and joining the fingers. That means like that, joining, not disjoining, not keep it loosely. So like that, or like that. So this should be very careful about that. The fingers should not be disjoined. Fingers should be joined. So they then explain it that sometimes of some vibrations, you see, some waves like that, it helps to pass through that, some spiritual current. So this type of things sometimes are quite helpful.
そして瞑想を行うときに、座って背筋を伸ばし、体全体を動かさない。そして手の指をくっついたままにして、ももの上か下、膝の上あるいは、左手を右手の上に置く。指がくっつかないと、霊的な波動の流れを、阻止するからくっついた方がいいです。
Then breathe rhythmically and deeply a few times, as I told you before.
そして、深呼吸を数回ほど行います。
That will help to calm down your mind.
この深呼吸によって心を落ち着かせます。
The next very important question about meditation, how to start the meditation.
そして次は、どのように瞑想を開始します。
Because mind is very restless, so you sit close, you see, as I say, sit straight, closing your eyes, and then pressing the, as I told you, pressing the palms on your knees or your lap, and then deep breathing. Up to this is fine. But the body is still. What's about mind? mind is, immediately you can understand how mind is restless, how it's moving around and around. But the challenge is, meditation asks us to focus. Now, how to focus? Because it is already restless. So, from restlessness to focus, that becomes a big challenge for many spiritual aspirants, those who try to practice meditation. That is the initial, I should say, greatest challenge for the practitioners of meditation. I believe you understand what I say.
先ほどの、手順を踏むと、体を落ち着かせて、深呼吸もして少し心も落ち着かせますが、いざ瞑想を始めようとすると、心が自由に、走り回っている状態でいろんな雑念が入ってきて不安定な状態になりますが、瞑想はそもそもある対象に集中するということとなっておりますので、雑念あるいは不安定な心を、落ち着かせることは大きな課題、チャレンジです。
Because unless we solve this problem, the whole meditation time can be just actually the play of a restless mind.
こういう課題を解決しないと、瞑想の時間全体は、心の玉触れの時間になってしまうからです。
So there are several suggestions, very important, I think this very important topic. Swami Vivekananda suggested one way is just don't try to focus your mind, concentrate, just allow the mind to roam, to wander, and you watch it. So if you try to practice that, then you have to divide yourself into two. You are watching, you are one, and the mind is one. You are not mind. So that's the basic premise of it. You are different, mind is different. Mind is not you. Mind is your. So you are the possessor, you are the master. You get the get the point? So in that way, you are watching what the mind is thinking about, what the mind is wondering. So in that way, don't try to control the mind from the beginning or focus the mind. You just watch what the mind is thinking, what the mind is wondering about. Just watch it.
スワミ・ビベカナンダはこのような上限を挙げました。最初から心をコントロールをしようとせず、自由にさせてください。この時は自分は傍観者になりなさい。つまり自分と自分の心は別々のものであり、私は心のものではなくて心は私のものです。つまり私は主人です。ある主です。はい、こういうふうに観察してください。
Then you will watch a cinema in yourself. In your mind, a cinema is going on, movie.
そうしますと自分の心の中に、映画館のような映画が見えてきます。
But the difference between this movie and this, when you are watching the mind, you see a movie inside. What's the difference? In movie, there is some consistency. First scene, second scene, third scene. But in the movie which you see inside during meditation, there is no consistency. This moment it is in Tokyo, next moment it is in India. Then next moment you have gone to a restaurant, or the next moment you suddenly remember some incident which happened 20 years before or 30 years before. So then you see the mind, how it moves. And one important thing, don't attach yourself to a particular thought. You just tell the mind, yes mind, I understand you have brought the image. What next? What's the next image you are bringing? Let me watch. This is the way. If you practice, then mind will. So far, mind, you are just following your mind. But if mind sees that you are watching the movement of mind immediately will become little careful. So, in that way, Swamiji said, if you try to do this practice, initially mind will bring hundreds of thoughts. Then if you continue, slowly the number of thoughts, number of images that mind will bring become lesser and lesser and lesser. And in that way, then you can control. You understand? So it's like catching a fish, big fish. So when you hook a fish, if it's a big fish, if you just try to catch it, then it may just tear the what is that say? Not thread. That.
The nylon.
Huh?
The string, man. The nylon.
Nylon. What they say? Nylon. Thread. Huh?
I only know it as nylon. Man.
Made of nylon. Nylon is a chemical. Anyway, so the expert, those catch fishes, they just allowed the fish to move and move and move, and when it gets tired, then it catches the fish. Takes it up, brings it on the bank of the pond. So this is the way. So allow the mind so that it gets exhausted, and then it becomes less and less. The thoughts become less and less, and then you can focus the mind. So it takes some time, but it's a very, very effective practice of control of mind. So you understand what I said? So allow some mind as time to wander the mind, and at the same time watch it, but don't attach your mind to a particular thought. You just go on repeating, mind, what next, what next, what next? What's the next image? In the magicians, oh magician, let me show you what is the next magic. So mind is a great magician. So it has so many things in its pocket or in its stock. So in that way, go on asking the mind, what next, mind, what next? So then slowly and slowly, you can, in that way, you can have some control of the mind. As I said, Swamiji said, in that way, the number of images mind was bringing to you, innumerable, slowly it becomes less and less and less and less. Then you will be able to control the mind and focus the mind. This is a very effective way, though it takes little time. Go on.
そして、このように自分の心を傍観者として観察すると、普通の映画と違って、映画は、筋があって、シーン1からシーン2とその物語がある数字に従って、論理的な結論にたどり着きますが、心は、支離滅裂な形でいろんなイメージを、持ってきます。今は東京、次の瞬間はインド、次の瞬間はレストランに入ります。で、統合性がない。そして、自分がやるべきことはそれを、観察して心に、はい、では次はどうぞ、はい、次どうぞ、次どうぞ。そうすると、心が少し用心深くなります。少し以前のように楽しんでないようで、で考えることが少しずつ減ってきます。何百もの殺念が十数の殺念になって、 やがて心が落ち着きます。大きな魚を釣るときに、お魚を釣ったときに、大きければすぐ釣り上げると何でしたっけ、ナイロンが割れてしまうが、少し自由に泳がせてあげると魚が疲れます。疲れた時に釣り上げると、簡単に釣り上げますので、心にも同じように自由に遊ばせて疲れたら落ち着かせるということが大事です。
So always ask mind, what next image you want you bring to me. Let me see what next image you bring before me. So 心は次は何のイメージ、私は見たいです。何のイメージあなたは運びます。私は見たいです。So this is the question. Always repeat this question. Then you will see mind will sometimes don't bring any image. Just keep quiet. Then suddenly it will bring some image. And what image it will bring, you are not sure. So you yourself will watch that before you are unaware, because you are one with your thought. So then whole meditation time becomes like that, is just thinking at random. But if you just, as I said, separate yourself from the mind and you are watching your mind, and with this question, mind, what next? What's the next image you are going to bring before me? Then, see the very interesting thing, then mind will bring one after another. Then suddenly mind will stop that what image it will bring before you. And when it stops for the time, for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, then that's one symptom of stillness of mind. You understand that point? So the time between bringing the two images, you sometimes surely will see some time is passing, which when there is no image before you, mind does not bring any image. Mind is wondering what image it will bring. So then there's a clear stillness, and that gives you an idea what stillness is. Now challenge is how to enhance this period of stillness.
このように心を観察して、次にでは、次は何のイメージを思い浮かばせるんですか？何を見せますか？で何回も問いかけすると、心は少し突然止まります。何も思い浮かばせません。
止まる。その時間。
でその、何もない雑念が全くない状態は心が落ち着いた、深い瞑想状態になるんですけど、数秒しか続かないので、今後のポイントはいかにそのイメージがない状態を伸ばすことです。
So in that way you can just still your mind and then you can focus. Some people say meditation is just stilling the mind. Mind will not think anything. No, that should not be the idea. Then mind will become like idiot like that. It will nibuku narimasu. It will dull. That's not the purpose of it. Purpose of meditation is focusing on a particular holy theme. So this is just the preparation. When your mind is without any thought, then you focus the mind on a particular theme, holy theme. This is one approach.
この心は何も思い浮かばない、雑念がない状態、を増やしていくと、次に、神聖な対象に集中できる。ある人、多くの人は瞑想が、無の状態になる、何も考えない状態になると言うんですが、それは、間違いです。何も考え、雑念がなくて深い、集中状態ということになります。何も考えなくなると、もしかしたら、鈍いの状態に落ちてしまうかもしれません。
Then another approach is when you start meditation, you tell your mind very strictly, mind, I don't allow you to think either of the past or the present, brooding or planning. Two things. I will not allow you to either brood or to plan. This planning about the future, planning about the work, planning the schedule. So my mind, I shall not allow you to. You have to now think only God. So this is one way. So some suggest you can try this method. So right after sitting for meditation, you ask your mind very strictly, so that it must not think any, as I said, neither it should brood over the past, nor it should make any plan of the future. You just focus only on God or on chosen object of meditation.
瞑想を行うときに、厳しく自分の心に命令しなさい。これから、過去あるいは未来について思い悩むな。そして計画を立てるな。神あるいは自分が決めた神聖な対象をのみ瞑想しなさい。
Then, in Belur Training Center, the first principal of the Belur Training Center was Swami Bodhatmanandaji, and I had a chance to meet him only once, because when I joined training center, already passed away. Now, one brahmachari, he became later, he is known as Swami Chaitanyanandaji. So Chaitanyaji asked him, the Maharaj, how you start your meditation? And that principal Swamiji, he was a great scholar and also highly spiritually highly elevated. So both he had the intellectual and the spiritual aspects. Now he said, I read first two verses from a scripture which say that the world is illusory. So if the world is illusory, the problems of the world related to our family, related to our work, related to ourselves, all these problems are also illusory. If the world is illusory, the problems cannot be the real. If the world is unreal, it has no real existence, eternal existence, then the problems also have no real existence. So I tell my mind, just be convinced about it, and then now focus on your object of meditation. Because during the meditation, it often happens that mind wants to think about some problem, to solve those problems. So it says that if the world is unreal, then the problems of the world are also unreal. Then why should I then think about these problems and the solutions during meditation? So with this firm faith in this, I start meditation. So that's another way.
You mentioned only one verse, right?
Two verses. But
the two verses speak about the
This,
illusion
this
of the world?
idea.
Oh,
So he
okay.
mentioned those two verses
うん
in the book.
で、ベルルマットの、ブラマチャリたちの、トレーニングセンター、見習い像が訓練するところがあるんですけれども、その最初の、見習い像の訓練センター長、ボダートマナンダジ・マハラジがいました。でメダサナンダジ・マハラジは1回お会いしましたが、その前に、チェタナナンダジという今アメリカで活躍しているお坊さんはブラマチャリの時にボダートマナンダジに聞きました。マハラジ、あなたは、瞑想を始まる時に何をされてるんですか？でボダートマナンダジは偉大な学者でもあり偉大な修行者でもありました。で彼はある聖典の中に、2つの説をいつも読んでいました。これらの説は、この世界のすべては幻ですという、旨が記載しています。
平日在です。Also you can say.
であれば私たちの家族あるいは自分たちのそして世界中の問題はすべて非実在幻のごとくである、よってどうして私はそれらについて心配すべきでしょう。瞑想を行うときに心がこういった問題を解決したがっているんですけれども、実際していなければ解決する、意味もない。
Then at the same time, the Lord is only the real. So at the same time, this also one should think.
でもう一つは神のみは実在ということを考えるべきです。
Then another, also very effective, you select some portions of the scripture, for example, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Beforehand you select some portions. And when you sit for meditation, you read one of the selected passages, not at random. I mean, you just open the scripture and Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna or Bible, whatever it may be, and then you start reading. No. So sometimes there is a long description, so it does not really help. So, and that time you see what is the appropriate portion that I should read. That will also, that is wastage of time. So it should be decided beforehand. So these are the selected passages which I can read, and not the same passage every day. Then it will be uninteresting. So select some few pages, few interesting where Sri Ramakrishna's conversation or some scene is very interesting and inspiring. Select those. And then either of these selected passages you read. And then you close your eyes and try to visualize that image, what you just read. You understand? Try to remember. And then automatically it will focus on Sri Ramakrishna, because if Sri Ramakrishna is a chosen deity. And then you start meditation on Sri Ramakrishna. That's a very natural way, not very difficult either. You get the, わかりました？
もう一つは、例えば、自分の決めた神様がスリラーマクリシュナであれば、スリラーマクリシュナの福音書の中から、自分にとって面白いと励みになる、比較的に短い、部分を抜粋して読んでおくことです。瞑想に座るときにそれを持ってきて、読むことです。毎日同じ、ものを読まない方がいいですね。面白くな 面白くなくなりますね。少し変えた方がいいですが、時々とても長い描写がありますので、パッと開いたところから読まない方がいいです。自分で前もって決めた部分を出して読むです。で、その時読んだ後は目を閉じて、読んだ内容について集中して心の中に思い浮かばせていくと、自分の決めた神様とつながります。それを持って瞑想を始めます。
So, a Christian devotee, for a Christian, he may select some passages from Bible and then also do the same way he can practice.
キリスト教の信者は、聖書の中からある部分を抜粋して読むこともできますね。
Now, how it helps? If you don't do it, the mind already has its own thoughts, and mind will naturally is inclined to think those thoughts which are already in it. But in this case, you do not allow the mind to think its own thoughts. You guide the mind, you order the mind to think something which you have selected. You understand the difference between these two? In one case, mind gets the freedom to think. And then you go on thinking and thinking and thinking. But this case, you don't give the mind any freedom to think. You yourself have asked the mind, you think on this. So you are in that case, you are asking the mind, you are instructing the mind, you are ordering the mind to think a particular theme which is helpful for your spiritual practice and meditation. So there is a huge difference between these two. Is it okay?
私たちの心は普段よりの考える傾向がありますが、このように抜粋した部分を読み上げると、私たち自身が自分たちの心に何を考えるべきかを教える、あるいは無理やり考えさせる、このように神聖な考えを考えさせると、私たちの霊的な実践に大きく助けます。
So, 例えば、you just think of a demon which always wants some food to eat. You see? Otherwise, the demon will eat you. So then you have to continuously supply some food to the demon. Similarly, the mind, it cannot remain without any thought. If you do not give any thought, supply any thought to the mind itself will pick up, choose some thought to think. And because mind is full of rajas and tamas, those thoughts will be either tamasic or rajasic. In case of sattvic mind, it will not happen. So, そういうことを、だって心は悪魔みたい。例えばこれ想像してください。その悪魔、いつも食べ物が欲しい。食べ物をそれは悪魔にあげないと、その悪魔はあなたを食べます。そしてあなたどうします？いつもあなたサプライしないとあげないでしょ。そのように心もその種類悪魔です。心を絶対、考えがないと、考えね。で、あなたサプライしないと、自分はその考えは、ピックアップします。なぜなら、絶対心のために考え絶対必要です。でそれのためにあなた自分をサプライしないと、その悪魔は、その心は自分の前からいろいろ否定的、例えばラジャスとタモス的な考えは考えます。それが本当は原因です。で次は 例えばもう一つは next point is how to start the meditation. Mental worship. The mental worship, what is that? So you understand all you are discussing how to start the meditation. When you sit for meditation, how you start. So in that case, this mental worship is very helpful. Mental worship, what is the ritualistic worship, what you see outside. The same thing is done mentally. That means in ritualistic worship, what you do, you decorate the god or goddess with flowers, you burn incense stick. Then what you do, you offer some food, then you do some arati, with 5 articles. So all these things mentally you do. It's called mental worship. In that way, so if you are worshipping, for example, Sri Ramakrishna, then your mind is focused on Sri Ramakrishna. That means you are decorating the image of Sri Ramakrishna or the photo of Sri Ramakrishna. You are burning with flowers. Then you burn an incense stick before Sri Ramakrishna. Then you are offering food to Sri Ramakrishna. Then you do arati to Sri Ramakrishna. So in that way, though these are the objects of senses, smell, then touch and all these things, but because it is focused on Sri Ramakrishna, then that will help you to finally, after this mental worship, you can focus on Sri Ramakrishna. This is one way, also very effective way, how to withdraw your mind from its usual thoughts and shift it to thoughts on Sri Ramakrishna. So these are all very, very practical hints on how to start because that's the most important thing, how you to start the meditation.
もう一つは、普段より、儀式で、礼拝を行っていること、例えばイメージあるいは像を飾ったり、花とかで飾ったり、線香を立てたり、食事を捧げたり、あと、ヒンズー教では5つの物品を捧げるんですけれども、五感に相当する味覚、触覚の物品を捧げるんですが、イメージとしては神様ですので、神聖なものになり、でそれを、心の中で行うことです。そうしますと、心の中で神様を礼拝して心が落ち着かせて、普段よりの考え方から引き戻して神様に集中させることができます。瞑想を開始するにあたってとても大事なポイントです。
Now the next one is, before I told you that before you start meditation, read some selected portions. So another method is not to read, but beforehand you decide some episodes, interesting episodes from the life of your chosen deity, for example, Sri Ramakrishna or say Sri Krishna. So there are many interesting episodes. So you beforehand you decide, okay, these are the interesting episodes I can visualize when I start meditation. That's also very, very effective. But all these things you have to do beforehand. You have to do some homework. Well, these are the most interesting, inspiring. For example, Sri Ramakrishna, meeting of Swamiji, when Swamiji had gone to Sri Ramakrishna, to Lakshineshwar, then Sri Ramakrishna called him, met him privately, and praising him, because Sri Ramakrishna knew that he is one of the 7 sages. But Swami Vivekananda himself had no idea about it. He just thought, I am son of such and such person. Then Sri Ramakrishna just praising him. Then Swami is thinking that, oh, he really, the people call him a crazy man, really so, he's a crazy man. Otherwise, I am a son of a such and such person, and he praises me and like a sort of worships me, that I am one of the 7 sages. So then next meeting, Sri Ramakrishna touches him. Then Sri Ramakrishna, Swamiji shouts, what are you doing to me? Because the world was vanishing from his eyes. After when Sri Ramakrishna touched him, as if the whole world was vanishing. So he thought that I am going to die. So he shouted, what are you doing to me? I have still my father, I have my mother. Then the third encounter, third meeting, Sri Ramakrishna touched him and he became completely unconscious. So as I told you, then his meeting with Girish Chandra Ghosh. So there are so many interesting episodes which you select beforehand, and you during the meditation, when you start the meditation, you to visualize one of those things. You see, as I say, Asobi Lila, and then you start the meditation. That also will help you to withdraw your mind from the usual thoughts and focus on Sri Ramakrishna. I am telling it all this from my own experience, not just it's a theoretical or some that what I read from other books, not that. I myself got benefit from this type of practices, so I am sharing it with you.
でもう一つは、先ほど抜粋した文章を読むとお勧めしましたが、今回は例えば、自分の記憶の中にある、決めた神様にまつわるエピソード、出来事、例えばスリラマクリシナやクリシナ神様の、エピソード、出来事を思い出せることです。前もって決めた方がいいので、そういった宿題が必要です。例えば、スリラマクリシナとスワミ・ビベカナンダの、出会いですね。最初出会った時にスリラマクリシナはスワミジを自分の部屋に呼んで2人きりで、スリラマクリシナは合唱して、賛美をしてました。あなたは、この世の苦しみを、取り除く、聖者、一人の第7聖者サッタリシの一人です。でその時スワミジは評判のようにこの人は本当に気が狂ってますね。私は何々さんの息子であるのに私はサッタリシなどと呼んでいますね。で、2回目会った時に、スリラマクリシナは触るだけで、彼は非常に不思議な体験して自分の周りは全部、消えている経験、どこかへ溶け込んでいる経験して一体何をしたんですか、私にはまだ、母と父がいますよ、死ぬかと思ってたんです。で3回目会った時に、今回はそういう、催眠術に負けないと決心してたにもかかわらずスリラーマクリシナはまた触ると無意識の状態になりました。そういったことを思い出してから瞑想始まると集中できます。でこういった、助言は自分が本で読んでただけのものではなくて自分自身が実践しているとマハラジがおっしゃいました。本当に助けます。
Okay, now let us stop because we have just entered into meditation. Now next time, next session, we'll discuss how to make the meditation deep and prolong, and what are the obstacles, and how we can solve those problems. So this we'll discuss during the second half. Okay?
午後は、今瞑想への準備についてお話ししましたが、午後は、どのように深い瞑想状態ができるかについてお話しします。 ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。Okay, now let us go for lunch. これ2つアナウンスメントあります。There are two announcements. One announcement is that we celebrate Christmas Eve on 24th evening, as we do celebrate every year. Now there will start from 7 p.m. 24th, and that's on Sunday. And there will be some worship and offering to Jesus, and then there will be reading from the Bible and carol, and then silent prayer, which will be followed by a dinner. So that is the program, and you are welcome to attend this, and you can inform your friends about this program, but we request to inform us beforehand so that we can know how many people are going to attend it. And the next one is the 1st January. There is a special day. We celebrate it. And there is a short reading from different scriptures, and there is a short talk also, followed by lunch. And after lunch we go by walking to some places of pilgrimage like Daibutsu in Kamakura, and then some Catholic church, and then Hachimangu shrine. So that will be on the 1st of January. So you are also welcome to attend it, but let us know beforehand how many are going to attend it. So these are the two important announcements. So I think some are listening to this, watching this video, this live streaming, and it will be also posted on the YouTube. So through that also many people will know about those next two programs of 24th December and 1st January. Okay, now let's go for lunch. Thank you.
でこれからアナウンスがありますけれども、来週の日曜日24日はクリスマスを祝います。プログラムは、夜7時から始まります。その時はイエス様を礼拝し、食事などを捧げます。そして、聖書を朗読し、賛美歌を歌い、祈りして、
And then there will be talk, of course.
そして、
So then talk will be given by the interpreter, present interpreter, Leonardo son.
はい、
So he will give a talk on Jesus' son.
ある方は講演されます。とその話の後は夕食が出ますが、ご参加された方々は事前に予約していただければ幸いです。そうしますと何人が参加するか分かります。あと、元旦の日、1日の、1月1日、は、午前中に、少し各宗教の、聖典から朗読して短い話があります。そしてお昼いただいてからここのベランタ教会を出て歩いて鎌倉の大仏、まず行きます。その後、雪の下のカトリック教会と最後に、鶴岡の八幡宮に行きます。ご参加されたい方々はどうぞいらしてください。
OK、ありがとうございました。